So hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited today because I have a special guest. My husband is here today to do a video with me. And we're going to be talking all about relationships. We're going to be talking about how do you know he or she is the one for you. We're just going to be giving basically our testimony and giving you six things that stood out to us and one another, and how God confirmed that that we were right for each other, that we were meant to be together. Okay, so we're just gonna hop right into it. But before I hop into it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, number one. So the first thing was that he was an answer to my prayers. He was an answered prayer. At the time, I was praying about the things that I wanted in a husband. And it was a lot of things that I was praying about. And when I seen it in Josh, I knew that he was the one for me. I seen that he was some things on my list. I was praying about a godly man. I had a daughter. I wanted him to accept my daughter as his own. So it was just a lot of things that I wrote down on the list and I prayed over daily. And I can see those characteristics in Josh. So that was the first thing that stood out to me, that he was an answer to my prayers. And that's how God kind of confirmed that for me. How was our answer to your prayers?
How was your answer to my prayer?
See, I do good when I'm by myself. How was I an answer to your prayers?
Well, like she said, an answer to your prayers. I mean, I would suggest you sit down and you pray for what you want. You ask God for what you want first and foremost. How she was answer to my prayers, what I prayed for was just a good woman, and when you say a good woman, of course you have many characteristics of it. But for me, what stood out to me was that how sweet she was. You know what I'm saying? She had a heart for other people. You know what I'm saying? Even, for your spouse, your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, she cared. She was genuine in everything that she did. You know what I'm saying? And then, just her personality wise, as far as for like not want to be in the club, you know what I'm saying? Not so caught up into,
worldly life.
Yeah, like how I look and want to, high dresses and be revealing, and you know what I'm saying? He was more caring about eternal rather than external.
Yeah, so I had a lot of godly character. We're going to get into that too. But that was some things that stood out that,
that was like, okay, I need to pay attention to this.
Yeah. And something interesting too that I want to point out is that one thing that he prayed for, one thing that he didn't want in a woman that I had, was he didn't want to be with a woman that already had children. And why I think that is important is because sometimes we pray for things and we pray, well, God, I don't want this. And we really don't know what's best for us, or we really don't know. We don't know what's best for us. And the reason why I say that is because when that was one of the things that I wanted, was a man that treated my daughter like his own. And it came so natural to him. And little did he know, that was one of the things that you didn't want. But it came like he'll be so concerned about my daughter, and that's what stood out to me, that he accepted her. Like, he would hear her crying in the background, and he would always ask, like, why is she crying? He would be so concerned, and it just came so natural to him. Because I hear people talk about all the time about how hard it is to blend a family. And when he came along, he just jumped right into it, and their relationship just flourished from there. But I just thought it was so interesting because that's one thing that he didn't want. So I would say to, pray about everything, because some things that you would say that, oh, this might be, a turn off to me, I don't like it. Just pray about it and allow God to lead you, because you don't know what you really want, So ultimately, just start with praying about it. And, God will lead you. God will lead the way. It may not be a red flag that
keep that
it may not be a red flag just because it was something that you didn't want, but just surrender your list to God and everything you want, and He's gonna lead the way. He's gonna guide you. So I just wanted to put that out there because I hear a lot of other married couples say the same thing. Well, I didn't want this in a woman, and she was this, you know.
Right.
So just surrender that to God. Pray. That's the first thing. Number two is that he was so consistent and who he was, and you know everything that he did was just consistent and still up to this point. Now, when I first met Josh, he was just always the sweet person, just so kind and patient and loving. And usually, you know, every guy starts off like that, you know, because they want whatever they want out the relationship. If they trying to be impressive, whatever, they start off being so nice and kind. But throughout the course of the years, Josh remained consistent. He was always that person and still is today, huh, baby?
Yeah.
But the thing is, with me and Josh, we talked over the phone for 4 years, right? Without ever seeing each other. So the fact that he never changed throughout those 4 years and still the same, that just stuck with me. So you need to know that a person can be consistent, be who they are, you know, and not you know, it's not just for a show, you know. So you need to know before you get into a relationship that they are the same person, that they are consistent in who they are, that they have good patterns and they continue those good patterns throughout the relationship. If you see like that they changing, you know, they not the person who you first met, you know, maybe they was nice and now you see that they going through things, they changing, they aggressive, they abusive, verbally, mentally, whatever, then that's always a red flag. Then, hey, this is not the relationship for me because I see that this is not the same person that I met.
And then, you know, to add to that, you know, everybody changes throughout the course of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go through their phases, up and down, you know. But when you say consistency, I think it's rooted in, okay, the good qualities.
Yeah.
That draw you to the person in the first place.
Right.
So if this person was always a person that had good things to say about you, like, oh, you're always beautiful, you're always pretty, you know what I'm saying? It's constantly lifting you up.
Right.
And words of encouragement, you know, as long as that stay consistent and other good things, you know what I'm saying? I think that what you need to look for in a person, you know, because like I said, other things going to change. You know, because you're constantly growing, you know, but as long as the good qualities stay consistent about a person, and what a person does and how that person make you feel, then I feel like that those are things to pay attention to, you know.
Right. It's absolutely, that's so true. Which brings me to number 3 is that that I can trust him. He was trustworthy. Now, I have been in relationships in the past where I couldn't trust that person, or you know, I was always uneasy about something. But with him, I felt like I didn't have to do none of those things because number one, he wasn't the type of person that liked to go out and party and, you know, hang out and do crazy things. So he was always with me. He was very family oriented man, you know, just like to stay home and, you know, do things together. So I just always feel so comfortable, you know, if he was to go somewhere. I didn't have to worry, is he cheating on me? You know, I didn't have to feel those things with him, and that was a good thing, you know, that I always had that trust with him. And also, like, I can feel like I can tell him anything, you know, that friendship was important too, you know, that we can talk to each other about anything. I can tell him anything. He didn't judge me on nothing or make me feel stupid, you know. I can trust him with information, you know, things that I was going through, and he was there for me to encourage me. So that was good, and that was big for me, that I can, you know, you need to be able to trust that person and trust, you know, that they have your best interest in heart, you know, and they'll be there for you. So
that's a good thing. You know, trust is something that you build upon, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's layers of trust. So, you know, when you say you trust a person, you just don't take it as face value. You know, that trust has to come over a period of time.
Yeah.
And like I said, that goes back into, like, consistency. You know, so, like, if a person never give you a reason to suspect anything, then of course trust will build. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if there's inconsistency in trust, then I feel like then that's something you also need to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? Because a relationship is long term.
Yeah.
So the longer your relationship go, the stronger your trust should be with this person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how that helps you get through the hard times too.
Excuse me.
That helps you get through the hard times too in a relationship, through the ups and downs, when you have that strong trust factor.
Right.
Like, okay, I know we're going to do this, but you've been consistent in so many other areas that I trust you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So trust was another big thing in relationships too.
It's a big factor. It is. Yeah. It is. So you need to be able to make sure that you can see that in a person. And like he said, it takes time. It takes time. So just let it run its course, and that way you can figure out, if you can trust this person or not. But the fourth thing, we're on number 4, right?
Number 4.
Okay. The fourth thing is that he loved me for me. See, that's a big one, because you want to make sure that you can be yourself in a relationship, that you can be you, and they just accept you for who you are. They're not telling you, well, you need to change this about yourself. Well, I would rather you to have a big booty, or or whatever. They love you for you. They're not trying to change you or tell you, that you are not good enough, or things like that. So you need to make sure that that person accepts you and loves you for who you are.
Yeah, that's a big part too. Is that when we first met each other, first saw each other for the first time, you know what I'm saying, we was good with that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And as far as for like never go into a relationship, okay, like I like you, but I want you to have this feature or that feature, or once I get with you, this gonna have to change, because you're setting yourself up for failure.
Right.
You should always go into a relationship one like, okay, if nothing about you ever changes,
if nothing about you ever changes,
I still want to be with you.
Right.
So I feel like that's a huge part of a relationship,
because that's one thing that everybody thinks. You think that because we get...
Because it may not change.
It may not change. So, you want it to change, but you have to know that if this person doesn't change for the rest of their life, could I deal with this?
And even though once you get in a relationship, things change.
Yeah.
But you have to go into the relationship
with the
mindset of, if things don't change, I'm okay with the way you are.
Right.
I can live with you. I can coexist with you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Before you make like serious, and that goes over the timeline and the process. You know what I'm saying? And don't get too serious with someone if you feel having those doubts or feeling that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in the dating process and getting to know a person, you look for that.
Right.
Like sit down and ask yourself.
Could I deal with this person?
Yeah,
for the rest of my life.
And have a sense of honesty with yourself too.
Yeah.
Because you don't live in denial. But like, okay, like I like this part about them, but I don't know if I could live with. Well, if you don't know if you could live with them or be with them with that, then hey, have a serious talk with yourself and have a serious talk with that person. You know what I'm saying? But look, this is how I feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Be real with it from the jump, and don't go into that marriage thinking that because
I gotta change this about
right, I'm gonna change this, or even too. Because we got married, things are gonna change. That they're gonna just automatically change.
That's not the case.
It's not the case.
The change is a choice.
It is a choice.
It is in the other person, whoever it might be, is their choice if they want to change or not.
Right.
You can't make nobody change.
Right. Exactly. So the fact that was big for me, that I can be myself, and he just accepted me, and he loved, flaws and all, and he still was there, being so patient with me, and it's not to say that he wasn't helping me, that he wasn't saying, right, he
just
wasn't accepting
like,
everything.
Like, well, hey, how about we do this different? How about
right,
we do that
exactly.
Different? You know what I'm saying? But like that goes coexisting. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And in any relationship, you want to be so. You don't want to pretend like, oh, I'm this person, or I'm that person. You know what I'm saying? You want to be comfortable in your own skin. And
right.
So be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? If the
Exactly.
person likes you or accepts you for that, then hey, you know,
Right.
go deep into it. But if, hey, be like, hey, look, I can't deal with that, then hey, keep it moving. You know
Keep
what
it
I'm
moving.
saying?
And like he said, the main thing is being honest with yourself and say, this is not what I want. You know, I can't deal with this. This is a problem, you know, so I need to know if I cannot deal with this person, if he don't change for the rest of his life, that I will be okay with how he is, you know. And that's a big thing. It's a big thing. So that was number 5, right?
Yeah.
That was number 5. No, that was number 4.
That
was number 4. Okay. Right. So number 5 is growth. That is a big thing too. That you want to make sure that if you're growing with this person, that's a good sign that y'all are meant to be together. Because we know that since we've been together, we've grown a lot.
Continue to get better.
We'll continue to get better. We are pulling out the best in each other. Yep. That's how you know that you're compatible for one another. So that's another good sign that y'all growing together, that this person is bringing out the best in you and not the worst. If you're in a relationship and you find yourself going backwards, like doing all the wrong things.
And I feel like with that is, like, okay, if you're in a relationship and y'all growing together and helping each other, and all of a sudden, you know, you hit a bump in the road and y'all start to take a couple of feet back, I mean, that's okay. Look at your situation, find out what's wrong, and, you know, work together to overcome it. But in the beginning of a relationship is, you started off with a person and y'all haven't built nothing together, then I think you need to check that. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in a relationship, y'all should grow together. Y'all should prosper together. You know what I'm saying? But if you in a relationship and you can't even name one thing y'all build upon, then, you know,
or one thing that, how could you name over the course of 6 years we've been together? What could you say that changed?
How we got better together.
Right. How did we get better together and as individuals?
Because like I said, you know, every relationship has its bumps in the road. You know what I'm saying? And a couple of hickeys or whatever.
Right.
But, you know, as long as it's a consistency in growth.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? So, and that's positive.
You should see some type of change in a relationship and some type of growth.
I got better since I met you. Not that I got worse since I met you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
And that's one thing that we found in our relationship, that it was the consistency. Yeah, we have, you know, a couple of train wrecks or whatever, but it was always the consistency and growth. Little bit by little bit, and trust and love and friendship.
Yes.
You know, trust. You know. So,
right.
I mean.
Right. And then, like, too, you remember, like, in the beginning of our relationship, how even the things that I didn't want to change about myself, or there was some things that I didn't know about myself. Like, remember when we used to always say that I was controlling, and I didn't realize those things about myself. But it wasn't until he was like, "Hey, you think you're a little bit controlling, you know?" And that helped me to change, you know, that part of myself. But it wasn't until he didn't come up to me and, like, you know, go crazy about it. But he let me know, you know, that, hey, don't you think, you know, you need to check this part of yourself, you know?
And it was a way like, okay, like, we need to coexist. We need to be comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, like, if something is affecting you in a way or it's making you uncomfortable, then you talk about that with your spouse. You know what I'm saying? And in the realm of friendship, in the realm of relationship, and be like, well, look, and both of y'all opinions come together, you know what I'm saying, and find a common ground.
And find a common ground. That is key.
And that's how you overcome a lot of issues.
Yeah.
You know, because all of it is small, simple issues anyway. That, you know, a lot of times us as people, period, we be stubborn.
And stuck in our ways, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just listening and being like, okay, let's work together. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. So that goes back to just constantly bringing out the best in you, and just being compatible for one another. That was number 5. And the last thing that I'm going to say is that he had a lot of godly qualities and godly character. And me and Josh met when we were really, really young, and we were both we really didn't have a
relationship with God.
A relationship with God.
Foundation.
Like
We
a
know
foundation.
God, but
We
knew God. You know
right,
what I'm saying?
exactly. We knew who
So,
God was, but we really was at the point where we just we were really into church and stuff like that. But we were both willing, you know.
Yeah. But again, back to the other point is that grew in our relationship.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
That's what I'm saying as far as for growth too. That grew.
Yeah.
Like even, you know, our godly qualities, you know, our Christian qualities, that grew in a relationship.
Right.
You know
and it was the fact that in the beginning, like we would sit on the phone and we would talk about God for hours, you know, and you know his willingness, both of our hearts for God, our heart was in the right place, even though, you know, our actions didn't line up with it right then and there. You know, our heart, both of us had a heart for God. We wanted that. We wanted to be with God. And like I said, what stood out to me was that he was just so patient with me, you know, just so kind and just so loving, you know, just loving me and accepting me for who I was. It reminded me a lot like what God has done for me. God loves me just for who I am, you know. He doesn't try to put me down, you know. So all those good characteristics just stood out to me, you know, that he was so willing and he had a heart for God, you know. We would pray together over the phone, and you know, even before we even got together, we would pray together over the phone and, you know, just talk about God. We would do Bible studies when we got together. We did Bible studies and things like that and went to church, you know, and like we said, that grew more and more over the time, you know. Now we can say that we have the foundation of Jesus Christ, and we both have a firm relationship with God, but it grew. We didn't start off like that, and that's important too. You know, don't just say, oh, well, he's not. Like I said, always pray about everything. Pray about everything, but don't just say, okay, well, he's not where I need him to be as a husband. You know, he don't have all the godly characteristics.
Right, because he can grow into that.
He can grow into that.
And you can grow more too.
And I grew more as well. So, but just, you know, make sure that he have that foundation of God. You know, that he's willing and he wants to grow. You know, or she wants to grow. So we both had that heart for God and had that godly characteristic. What are some things about me that stuck out to you about
as far as for like godly characteristics, that's when, you know, like, you know, you want that type of woman that believe in and that have Christian beliefs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's a woman that could be a good mother. That's a woman that could be a good wife. You know what I'm saying? And I sit there and take care of you. You know what I'm saying? And not be the one that get bored or want to cheat or want to leave or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
And love you for you.
Yeah, and when it's rooted in Jesus, that's it right there. That's the goal. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you can have you a quality wife. Yeah. A beautiful wife. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because all the other qualities is rooted in that. Yeah. And you could trust that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that really stood out to me, just our heart for Christ and wanted to learn and wanted to get more into it, more relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? That would really draw me to it. And you know, how all of our other qualities just follow suit in that. You know, like mother, wife, you know what I'm saying?
It was because of my relationship with God. Who's that?
Neighbor.
It was because of my relationship with God. I'm sorry. It was because of my relationship with God that I was able to be a good wife to you, a good mother, and vice versa. So, you know, we don't believe, you know, that it's
three strands. Wife, husband, and God.
Wife.
That's how you survive. That's how you keep it going.
That's how you survive. That's how marriage survives. It's with God. God at the top, husband, wife. Yeah. 3 strands. That's the 3 things. So, you know, we have God as our foundation, and you want to always make sure that you have that, okay? So, that's our video. That's it. Right, okay, so I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all have any questions, let us know in the comments section. So, thank y'all. We love y'all, and y'all have a good day.